Welcome, dear friends, to a new story. I will present to you two true and terrifying stories. Here is the first story. The story of I Want to Become a Vampire is one of the terrifying stories. It talks about a teenager who openly declared his desire to get rid of everyone around him and enjoy killing them and their blood as vampires. The events of the story: there was a teenage boy named Locken. Locken didn't have any friends because his classmates were afraid of him. That boy once said he wanted to become a vampire, but those around him at the time thought he was just looking for attention. Locken was strange in appearance, as his head was very large compared to the rest of his body, as well as black circles constantly surrounding his eyes, and he was always dressed in black from head to toe. Locken often sat between his books, which were nothing but about vampires, Satanism, and satanic rituals, which he read again and again and took notes on, leaving to play with boys of his age. Strange rumors were always swirling about him, as some children testified that he had killed a dog and drank its blood, and others said that he abducted cats to conduct strange experiments on them. And my parents' Locken was very worried about him, as they used to take him to psychiatrists, but there was no benefit from that. One night his mother found some of his books and they were about demon worship, and the mother could not bear what she read in these books. So she took them to the trash and threw them, and Locken did not protest or object, but waited until his parents went to sleep, then went out and brought his books again. The next day, Locken made a large hole in the top of his wardrobe and put his books in it away from prying eyes, and since that time he has become this place as his secret hideout. Rather, he set up a temporary altar in this place and surrounded it with demonic symbols. One night he went to the church and stole the silver cup in it and brought it home with him and put it on his altar. Locken slept all day, as he was always feeling lethargic, but he used to wake up at night. He was always trying not to wake his father and mother through his movements and what he did at home at night. And one day the teacher gave them in the class a task, which is for each of them to write an essay about what he wants to become in the future, and the students will read what they wrote in front of their colleagues. Locken's classmates were talking about their dreams and aspirations, but when it was Locken's turn to speak, he stood in front of them and said, "I want to become a vampire. I want to customize him for evil and devil worship. I want to take revenge on all my enemies." Suddenly his teacher's voice resounded, saying, "Stop." Locken stopped. "That's enough. From the blood of boys and girls, I want to become a vampire in order to kill you all." His classmates were bulging eyes, looking at him and his rampage, and at the teacher as he pulled him out of the classroom with great horror. Locken was dismissed from school until his parents came to the headmaster, and rumors spread about him more. When parents saw him on the street, they brought their children into the house. One day the parents woke up and did not find Locken in the house, searching for him everywhere, but there was no trace of him. The boy disappeared as if he had never been. The parents allowed the police to search the house. Perhaps they find him. So the police team sets out to search for him, and their chief goes to the boy's room, hoping he will find something that indicates his location. The policeman searched the room and found nothing, but when he opened his wardrobe he noticed the large hole that the boy had made. And when he looked up he saw more of the view terrifying he saw in his life. It was the body of the missing boy was hanging from the ceiling. His arms and legs were tied to the beams of the attic as if he had been crucified. And beneath him was the demonic altar he had made before, and the silver cup was filled with blood. That scene made the parents break down in tears and screams, and later the police by removing the body of the boy and completing the burial procedures. But why did the child commit suicide? Why this death ritual? And if the boy was already dead, who would move and make noises in the room all night? Story 2. Perhaps what arouses human curiosity most in general is the exploration of the metaphysical world, and the idea that there are other worlds inhabited by jinns and ghosts. It is the focus of human curiosity at all, which may push some to go to scary places, knowing that those who inhabit them are not human, and the scary places are not limited on deserted places only. But fear may come in places where feet have already tread. But the history of the place may cause incomprehensible events, vivid and recorded paranormal observations, which are attributed to the world of the jinn. History of the hotel. The Gatzberg Hotel is located in Pennsylvania, in the United States of America. This hotel, which was previously a hospital during the American Civil War, has witnessed this hospital or hotel now many cases of severe injuries and deaths for soldiers who had participated in the war at the time. Suspicious sightings in the hotel. Many visitors to the Gatzberg Hotel say that they have seen and noticed suspicious things and strange events during their stay inside the hotel. One of the most famous ghosts seen, according to the guests, is the ghost of Nurse Rachel. She is a girl who wears a nursing uniform and runs around the hotel, looking for the injured soldiers in order to treat them. She is one of the most famous ghosts in this place, which has been reported to be seen, and some of those who have seen her confirmed that she does not wander around the hotel only, but has also been seen in the streets and alleys surrounding the place, where she roams at night for the same purpose, which is to search for injured soldiers. Not only did the reports of the guests stop at this point, but many of them reported about drawers that open by themselves, bags that are suddenly pulled out in the hotel halls, places of things that change. And all this was, it is believed that Rachel's ghost is the reason for its occurrence, because she was always looking for something, according to the narration of the guests. Also, one of the most famous ghosts in this hotel is the ghost of the wounded soldier. This ghost that appears in all the pictures taken inside the hotel. So everyone who wanted to take a photograph of himself and his family, he was surprised after the photos were developed and printed by the appearance of a ghost of an injured soldier standing in the background, smiling. Knocked on the doors of the rooms inside the hotel entirely, but without anyone watching behind the door. Hidden cameras, in order to control who is knocking on doors and monitoring who is doing this. But the cameras did not record the presence of anyone during the occurrence of knocking on the doors. In addition to the presence of another ghost of a woman, the inmates saw her running in the corridors of the rooms, and she was begging them. The hotel workers narrate that this woman was a guest at the hotel at the time of its establishment with her husband, and one day, a quarrel occurred between the spouses, so the husband could not end this quarrel, except that he beat his wife severely, until her soul overflowed into her innocence. And since that day, and they see at night the ghost of that lady, running between the rooms and asking for help. If you liked the video, do not forget to support us by subscribing and liking. Thank you and see you soon.